Okay, so we've covered what macros are, what types of foods you should be eating, and like how to measure and make sure that you're being as accurate as possible. So now let's start talking about the actual action items you're gonna be doing. You're gonna start going to the grocery store. After you go to the grocery store and get the foods that you like, it doesn't have to be a ton, just get some so you can kind of start easing into it. What you wanna do is prep foods rather than meals. Prepping meals kind of creates a non-single ingredient food that you then have to work into your nutrition and can, again, kind of mix things up. So it's much easier to just prep foods and keep them separate and then combine them into a meal. First and foremost is leafy green vegetables of some kind. So I listed broccoli, Brussels sprouts, spinach. It doesn't have to just be one veggie, but you should have at least one veggie with every meal. All right, you want it to be somewhere in the 50 to 200 gram range in terms of volume, in terms of mass. And then, so that's your first ingredient, and you're gonna get some of your carbohydrate and some of your protein from that veggie. All right, second is your carbohydrate, whatever source of carbohydrate you're gonna do, whether that's rice, potatoes, quinoa, any of those, some fruits or something. Any of those will count as your carbohydrate, okay? So we've got veggie, carbohydrate. Both of these, veggie is gonna be some carb and a little bit of protein. Carbohydrate is gonna be the majority of your carb and some protein. And then next we have our lean source of protein. So why lean source of protein is because fat has the most amount of calories per gram. So if we are keeping things lean and only using strict sources of fat, we'll be better able to manage. So think about like a ribeye steak. You've got, different layers of marbling, you've got, the fat on the side. Because fat gives us the most calories, each steak, you might be off by a couple hundred calories in terms of what you're thinking you're tracking. So we wanna get lean cuts of protein, things like chicken breast, lean ground turkey, even lean ground beef, pork tenderloin, things like that are very low fat, mostly protein. So you got your veggie, your complex carbohydrate, your lean protein, and then at the end of the meal we can add some fat on top, whether that's olive oil, butter. You can add that on top for flavoring, okay? So that is how you make up your meal.